Such is the nature of life, that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. And you are that opportunity, and so am I. So it is. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Midtown Atlanta, where you are welcome. And we're glad you're here. However you came, whatever your spiritual path, whatever brought you here, you're welcome. We're glad you're here. And now let's do our Declaration of Principles, as written by our founder, Ernest Holmes.
A few of the Declaration of Principles we live by.
I believe in one God, one absolute power, and first cause to all things.
I believe that this power is perfect love, and it creates out of a desire to express love.
I believe all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience.
I believe in the unity of all life, and the immortality of the individual soul forever unfolding.
I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of God to all.
And so it is.
So grateful, hey.
So a practitioner is someone who's demonstrated the ability to use spiritual practice and spiritual laws to bring about great changes in their lives. And they've demonstrated that they know how to bring about these changes in others when asked. Licensed by Centers for Spiritual Living, they are available to you to provide spiritual guidance and support in those areas in which you're looking for assistance. You can contact them through our website, cslmidtown.org. And today, we have a guest practitioner to share some good ideas in affirmative prayer called the Spiritual Mind Treatment. Welcome, Reverend Dr. John Karn.
Good morning. Today's theme has to do with how open are we to receive our good. And this reminds me of a prayer in the Living the Science of Mind book that goes, good and even more good is mine right here and right now. It's an ever-increasing good, an ever-expanding good. It presses up against me. It expresses itself within me, and it multiplies itself all the way around me. I've been saying that prayer now, or treatment, for at least a year, twice a day. And I've added in little parts, like good, and yes, even more good is mine right here and right now. And then I also go through the 4 pillars of life, which is love, creativity, prosperity, health, creativity, I just said that, and wisdom. And so you can break it down into all these areas and keep saying these treatments or these prayers as you go through life, really, because our consciousness is ever evolving. Just as the universe is ever evolving, what's going on within us is ever evolving as well. So with time, you start to think, maybe I can have that. Maybe it's a possibility for me. And then you think back to all the times you blocked good from coming into your life. As a child, we were taught to block anyone trying to compliment us or trying to give us something. And I realize now how that, I don't want to say it did a lot of damage to us, but it was something for all of us to overcome this lifetime. I feel like it's a challenge. I feel like we came in with that information and it promptly got put away. So with that, let's go ahead and go into treatment. I like to say we close our eyes symbolically. You don't have to close yours if you don't want. But we close our eyes symbolically as we go within and go to that upstairs room with the upstairs consciousness. It is within us. Everything we need is already here. It's within us. We go to that upstairs room and our minds are open. We look at the many gifts all the way around the room and we choose for today's gift, knowledge, creativity, and great love. And we are an extension, so we just slide on down and across, and we remember that love, wisdom, and creativity are my true nature, your true nature. And so we can't help but bring it forth when we're ready. And so we do call it forth right here and right now, in this moment, this instance. And I claim, name, know, and affirm that we are capable of bringing in anything at all. And so we have cleared the way. We call it forward. We know it is done. It is already out there. We can see that it's there. We're not asking for anything that's not here. And so we bring it forward, we claim it, we name it, we keep it. And these words that have been spoken are going out into a field, the quantum field, the universal law, and they are being acted upon as I say that and even before I say it, as I thought of it. And so this is for all of us. We know this is our truth, that all is available, and we're opening our eyes and our hearts and our minds to that. And we know it's gone out into a power that only returns it back to us. So with that, we give thanks and we let it go. Amen.
Good morning. Reverend Dr. Ann Faith Harris is a licensed religious science minister, practitioner, educator, mediator, and musician whose ministry inspires individuals and communities to recognize and celebrate the presence of God in every person in every situation. Reverend Harris believes that spiritual growth and compassionate action go hand in hand. Her ministry affirms the inherent dignity and sacred worth of every person and encourages individuals to embody love, justice, and inclusion in their daily lives. Drawing on her experience as a minister, educator, mediator, and musician, she creates opportunities for healing, reconciliation, and transformation to flourish within individuals, communities, and organizations. As a longtime member of the Trinity Center for Spiritual Living, she has faithfully served as a licensed prayer practitioner, board member, guest speaker, and musical artist. And with that, I want to bring up our speaker, Reverend Dr. Ann Faith Harris, to inspire us this morning. Thank you. You're welcome. You're good. Is she unmuted?
Excited to be here with you this morning for a time of spiritual celebration and discovery. Am I feeding back? Okay. Yes, so before I get started on our topic this morning, I'd like to invite you just to gently close your eyes for a moment and just take a deep cleansing breath in and a full release. Yes. And one more time. Deep breath in and full release as we settle into the knowing that right here and right now, we are centered in the presence of love and light. Powerful group, namaste. So, have you ever noticed just when life starts getting good? I mean, really, when things are flowing really freely, love is deepening, opportunities present, something in you tightens up a little bit. Instead of opening fully to this wonderfulness and this synchronicity, something in us hesitates. Well, in New Thought, we often speak of spiritual spring cleaning. But I want to suggest that clearing space is only half the journey. The real question is, what are we now willing to receive? Well, nature teaches us very clearly we see that when soil is loosened, it's loosened to receive seed. Trees release their leaves in preparation for new life. So nature never clears space to remain empty. It makes room for something better. A friend of mine, and maybe some of you who may be gardeners, this may resonate with you, began to prepare her spring garden, summer garden. She plants several times during the year. Well, this first voyage, she cleared the weeds, she enriched the soil, put in organic fertilizer, everything was just ready. But then she hesitated. She thought, what if it doesn't grow? Or what if I do something wrong? So the garden stayed empty, not because it wasn't prepared, but because she wasn't ready to trust what would come next. Well, eventually she did plant, thankfully, and life responded. But that pause, that hesitation, that's the moment that we're going to talk about this morning. And it's also our invitation for the topic of the title of the talk, Making Room for the Good. Now, Spirit works through us in the same way that life works through nature. We often become very skilled at letting go of old beliefs, old hurts, and old identities. But receiving requires its own practice. H.Emilie Cady reminds us that desire is God tapping at the door of our consciousness. So here's the guiding idea today. If desire is God tapping, then receptivity is how we answer. So, a couple of questions. What if desire is not personal craving, but a divine invitation? What if longing is not evidence of lack, but actually evidence of readiness? I think in many spiritual and religious traditions, desire has gotten like a poor reputation. It's gotten a bad rap, so to speak. But Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, reframes our understanding about desire. And he speaks not of surface cravings, but of right desire. That is, the desire that leads to greater love, greater life, greater creativity, and contribution. And this is what he writes in The Science of Mind. He says, desire is the first step in the creative process. The first step. That means that desire is formative. It's not weakness, it is actually the creative impulse. It is life seeking to express itself more fully of itself through you. And so when we feel the desire for deeper connection, or for rest, or for creativity or love, that's not the ego asking for more. That is actually spirit moving to express itself more fully within you. Desire is the knock, and receptivity is the door. We often also think of prayer as intention, right? Declaring, affirming, and visualizing. But family, receptivity is just as important and just as powerful, and we need both. Because as you know, the law responds not only to what we think, but to what we allow. So receiving is not a passive thing. It is the spiritual practice of allowing. And allowing is something that we feel in the body. It is somatic. So to show you what I mean about this, I want to do just a little quick 10-second exercise with you. I invite you right now, wherever you are, to notice your shoulders. Don't do anything about them. Just notice how you're holding them. Are they up around your ears? Are you holding them tightly? Well, now I'd like for you to just take a deep breath, and when you exhale, just allow your shoulders to fall. Just to fall and let them drop. So that shift that you just felt, that sudden release of weight, that opening in your chest, that's a somatic experience. You didn't logic your way into relaxation. Your body allowed it. And that physical openness is exactly how we make room for good. You know, we can affirm abundance, prosperity, love, whatever it is, all day long. But if inside you believe that you don't deserve it, or it won't last, or it's too good to be true, then something in your body tightens, your nervous system braces, and your consciousness partially closes. John made reference to this in his opening. Have you ever complimented someone and just to watch them push it gently away? It was nothing, they might say. Or, I just got lucky. Now, we've all done this, right? But sometimes, beloveds, sometimes the greatest obstacle to receiving isn't very dramatic. Sometimes it's rather subtle, the compliment we push away, the love we refuse, the help that we question. And all the while, life is saying, you know, you can just receive this. Sometimes, family, the real block isn't fear at all. It's unworthiness. Brené Brown, the renowned author and researcher of vulnerability and worthiness, puts it very simply. She says, those who feel most worthy of love and belonging are those who believe they are worthy of love and belonging. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Not the most perfect, not the most accomplished, the most receptive. And here's a liberating truth, beloveds. We don't have to be more spiritual to get more good in our lives. We only need to be more willing. We don't earn the sunlight that warms us. We don't earn the air we breathe. We certainly don't earn grace, but we align with it. We align with it. So I'd like for you to consider this familiar Easter image, if you would. The stone of the sepulchre has been rolled away, not only to reveal an empty tomb, but to make room for the new life that was to emerge. The empty space was never the destination. It was preparation. And our own inner clearing works in the same way. When we clear space within ourselves through forgiveness or release or healing, we're not meant to remain empty. Ernest Holmes teaches us to cultivate a consciousness of quiet expectancy. That is a deep knowing, a trust, and a faith that good is unfolding and will fill the spaces that we create. We are meant to create. We are meant to expect. Life is always giving. The universe does not withhold good. So the question for us is not supply, but willingness. And so gently ask yourselves, where in my life is there space ready to be filled? As students of New Thought, I believe many of us know about striving spiritually, right? We know how to do that. But sometimes our striving closes us to ease. If it was hard, we trust it. But if it was easy, we question it. What if grace is efficient as well as sufficient? And what if Spirit doesn't require our exhaustion to justify our blessing? Sometimes making room for the good in our lives means releasing our attachment to struggle. It means allowing life to surprise us and allowing ease. So where in your life have you cleared space but not yet consciously welcomed what wants to fill it? Perhaps you released a relationship. Perhaps you've done some deep inner healing, or like me, perhaps you're completing one chapter in your life and wondering what's coming next. Consciously say to yourself, I am ready for what comes next. I am open, Spirit, and I allow and support the love to enter my life without testing it and without questioning it. I stumbled over that a little bit. Say this, I allow support and love in my life without testing it or questioning it. I'm open to that, Spirit. And then, beloved, let us be reminded about gratitude. Because gratitude is just not a response to good, it's what opens us up to it. When we give thanks, even before we see the results, we shift from waiting to receiving. Gratitude softens resistance. It tunes our awareness to what already is present. And it says, yes, this good is for me. Well, I've covered a little bit of ground right now, and I'd like for us to reflect on what has been shared. And so I'm going to invite you into a brief meditation with me, and just want you to get comfortable in your seats if you're at home, laying down on your bed. If you're seated, let your feet rest gently on the floor. And allow your hands to rest in your lap with your palms up, because this is the posture of receiving. And taking in a slow breath and a full release. One more time. Deep breath in. And a full release. And imagine that life is pouring good toward you. Not because you earned it, not because you proved yourself, but because it is the nature of life to give. And I want you to see a light now gathering above your open palms. And it's beaming and imparting prosperity to you and peace into you, guidance, wisdom, and joy. We do not chase it. We do not strive for it. We allow it. And silently affirm this to yourself. I do these things without effort, but with perfect ease. I do these things without effort, but with perfect ease. Taking a deep breath in and a full release. And know this, what is for you is not withheld. What is seeking you cannot miss you. And as you are willing, you receive. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the grace wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. Returning back now. I was looking at a glass at my home as I was preparing this talk, and it reminded me of a knowledge that it's really receptive and open to what will be coming next for it. It's not lacking. It's really ready. It doesn't chase what will fill it, and it doesn't question what will arrive. It simply makes space. I submit that may we be like this glass, uncluttered, unguarded, and available. And I'd like to suggest a weekly practice for you, if you care to indulge me with this. Each day this week, take 2 or 3 minutes in that posture of receiving, remember, with your palms up, and ask yourself, what good am I willing to receive today? What good am I willing to receive today? And then gently affirm, I allow life to support me. I allow life to support me. Family, if God is tapping at the door of our consciousness today, I'd say we choose to answer not with effort, not with striving, but with openness, willingness, expectancy, receptivity, grace, ease, and gratitude. We make room. We make room. And we let the good in. And so ends our lesson. Namaste.
Papers. Thank you, Reverend Anna. All right. Thank you so much. That gave us definitely something to think about and something to do as we go into the talk. Can you zoom out a little bit? There you go. And cut my head off. The next thing we've got is our New Minister Sacred Covenant Easy Prayer. This is the abbreviated version. The full version is on the website, cslmidtown.org. And know this with me. There is only one life. This life is God, and I am one with it. I know my new minister is a revelation of Spirit as principle, fulfilling God's promise, for principle is not bound by precedent, but operates according to law for those who align with it. Together with my community, I see my new minister inspiring spiritual oneness through wisdom, love, and authenticity. One that is awakened to inner wisdom, communicates universal truth, and serves as a conduit of divine love, wisdom, and healing energy. One that recognizes the inherent wholeness within all beings and offers teachings grounded in spiritual principles to cultivate inner transformation. One that extends love, compassion, and Spirit's transformative power into the wider community, fostering connections that heal and uplift individuals on their unique journeys. As I accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know they will be revealed in a way that expresses Spirit and serves the highest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful, for God is good, and so it is. Now it comes for our time for conscious giving. If you're in the room, there's a basket in the back, or you can scan the QR code on the screen for donations. And if you're online and you're listening to this and you've never given before, consider giving. We share this message around the world for everyone to receive, and if you're fed spiritually by this, please consider giving. And we appreciate everything that everybody gives to help support this ministry, to keep it going. And we have been for a while with these ministers, these guest ministers coming in and speaking and giving us great information. So we are appreciative of that. Here's our affirmation for prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. So a couple of announcements, and next week we'll be back online. And I didn't put up who our new minister is next week. I forgot to update that. So it'll be a surprise. So tune in. If you're interested in getting a little bit deeper with what we teach and what we know, there's a discussion group, an adult discussion group that meets at 10 a.m. on our Zoom channel. You can go to cslmidtown.org, scroll down to the Zoom link. They will, and then click on that, and there's a passcode that will get you in the meeting room. And there's a group of people that are discussing the book. It's one of Ernest Holmes' books. This thing called You. Is that it, Sylvia? Yeah, they're starting. Yeah, that's the one you guys are working on. I think it's this thing called You by Ernest Holmes. Okay. So come join. You don't have to have read the book. to join the discussion group because they'll talk about that topic as it comes, because they had just finished the entire Science of Mind textbook. They went through front to back the entire book, and that was a while. So if you want something deeper, that's a great place to come and join. So here's our affirmation of life, and you could say this with me. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of love and a mind full of good sense. I look at the world in a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything I need to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding, and I am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me. And so it is. Thanks, everybody online. I am not going to try and switch this. I have it kind of set up because we had some technical difficulties, but we appreciate all of you that were in the Zoom room participating with us. The recording is going to be, it's live, so you can get it or you can come back later, and the podcast will be out this afternoon. So we're going to move the tables, have a potluck, and everybody have a great week.